Hey, good Wednesday morning, everybody. What a night. Oh my God, that bluefin tuna bite. Can it get any better? It's not only a lot of fish, but they are big. A lot of boats with straight 100-pound bluefin tuna last night. We're going to be checking that out as I get ready for the MB here this morning. Of course, we're going to talk islands. We'll talk about the coastal bite, surf fishing, and so much more. Let's set it up. Come on, let's go. It's time for the MB.
Hello to the Friedman Adventure family reporting from the Excel live. Actually, night 2 on a 3-day. We're currently out around the 60-mile bank, Mushroom Bank, Butterfly Bank, for those who know the area. Phil, I gotta say, I think the entire San Diego fleet, they must have listened to the morning briefing because they showed up. Look at all these lights. Tuesday night, and the San Diego, Southern California, big bluefin tuna, they are out here. They are searching, they are looking. The only question is, will that tuna RSVP? Will they show up to this party? Even more lights, look at all these boats. Everybody's in search for that bluefin tuna. Sounds like the engines are dying down. I think the captain's gonna say we are coming up on a school. I'm gonna go get my rod and reel.
Help me.
That's a big one.
Yeah, it's a big one. Friedman Adventure family, we have another update, 5 a.m. live from the Excel. Oh, it's been a day and a night. So the current board, we're looking at, I think we are now at 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 25 bluefin tuna. From yesterday, we were at 9 bluefin tuna. Now we're at 25. And I have to say, I got one myself. I got my 120-pound bluefin tuna. It took precision. It took time at the rail. I did not stop. I did not stop. And that's what the Friedman family adventure people do. We don't stop. We keep fishing and we get what we want. Personal best, 120-pound bluefin tuna. You can see the smile on my face. Have a great day.
Incredible bite last night on the Royal Polaris. They were picking a few fish right before the sun set. After the sunset, it was game on the 100 to 180-pound bluefin tuna, as wide open as you could possibly imagine it. Lots of first-time bluefin tuna catches and a ton of PBs. Personal best. 300-gram knife jigs were super hot, along with the Eddie bombs. Great fishing at night in San Diego right now is evidenced by this outstanding, incredible catch on board the Royal Polaris. The night bite was fantastic. You're invited to join us on a reverse 2.5-day trip on board the beautiful Apollo out of 22nd Street Landing, departing June the 11th at 10 a.m. Wow, does that give us incredible range, and returning 7 p.m. on June the 13th. This is going to be a great fish. It's got all kinds of possibilities, from bluefin tuna to white sea bass to halibut and so much more. Friedman Adventures Charters puts you in the fish. Make sure you text us today so you can get on a trip and you just might catch the fish of your dreams. Friedman Adventures Charter, 657-227-6459.
What a fish! Yeah!
Good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. This epic Wednesday morning. What a bite on the bluefin tuna, an easy range of LA Orange County-based boats. I am so excited about our Apollo trip June 11th through the 13th. One spot available on there. Better hurry if you want to join us. That is going to be great. You saw on the lead-in how great that bluefin tuna fishing was last night for several boats on 100-plus pound bluefin tuna. We're going to get into that. Man, are we blessed here in Southern California. We'll go south of the border, talk about some bluefin down that way, as well as some yellows and other species biting in that neck of the woods. We're going to cover the islands. We'll cover the coast. We'll take you to the Channel Islands where there's been some outstanding fishing. And, of course, we'll talk surf fishing all right now, right here on the Morning Briefing. You know what time it is. It is time for the Morning Briefing. Good morning, my friends. Oh my God, is that good? And what a bite we've got going on. You saw much of it on the lead-in, the Royal Polaris, the Highliner, the XL. I got to thank Chad Christopher Klein for his great updates from the XL. He's taking you right through it. He wanted to catch his personal best bluefin tuna. It started out kind of slow, and then it went pretty darn wide open. He got a 120-pound bluefin tuna. And what he hasn't told you yet is he lost one right before that. He said it was so big he had to tap out on it. The deckhands had it right up to color, estimated over 200-pound fish when the hook pulled. It was a heartbreak loss, but it didn't stop Chad. He kept fishing, and that persistence paid off, and that's his lesson to you. Be out there on the rail. Don't give up. Keep fishing hard and make your dreams come true. Hit that like button. We deeply appreciate it when you're able to do that. Share these videos with a friend. Of course, subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel and tick that little bell because we're updating you all the time. And that's how you get notified when there is new content. Also, you can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. We appreciate all you do for us. Tax problems? Check out Tim Marquez. He's been doing this for 35 years. He's a great Friedman Adventures family member. Give Tim a call today. And if you have heating and or air conditioning needs, you want to call John Lopez at Efficient Heating and Air Conditioning. John's number one. He'll take care of everything that ails you. All right, great to be with you all. Let's get into it because we've got so much to talk about. Recently, my co-host down there in Mexico, more specifically Ensenada, 70 miles below the border, Paulina Varela, was out with her mom, Berenice, and our dear friend Polka, the captain, and they came up with some bluefin tuna. Nice going, Paulina. In fact, Paulina sent me a note and said, I told you I wasn't going to give up. I told you I was going to fish hard until I got a BFT, and she did. And there's more bluefin being taken by pongueros south of the border in the Ensenada area. A lot of that fish, 20 to 40 pounds, 60 pounds, but starting to see more and more big fish also, like 100-plus pound category fish. And they're catching that fish in the daytime. They're trolling around all kinds of different types of lures, throwing poppers, and having great success here on a fairly regular basis. I say that because the daytime bite still has not settled in to being really consistent. So I have to say, one day you get them and one day you may not. But really some nice catches. And of course, Paulina, nice going. We're so proud of you. Way to make it happen. You can follow Paulina on Paulina Fishing Life on Facebook. Highly recommend you do that. Can't wait to get down and do some more podcasts with her just after the middle of June. So some good stuff going on. There's also a few yellowtail and more yellows starting to show up on the kelp patties. Not a ton, but more and more yellows on kelps offshore of Ensenada. That's looking good. That big bonita, bird schools of that are still around, so we continue to watch that for you very, very closely. Really fun fishing on that stuff. And mixed with it, sometimes that bluefin tuna. So you got to keep your eyes on that also. And copious amounts of rockfish and some good calico bass fishing should you choose to do that. Mike Garcia is a great guy. And Mike says, Phil, I've been listening to you talk about Ensenada and your great times down there. And I said, I'm going for it. I'm going to drive down there. So he drove down there with his girlfriend, Laura, and he said they thoroughly enjoyed it. Went fishing with Louis Prieto, caught a bunch of sand bass, had a lot of fun with my dear friend Louis from It's For Reals Sport Fishing. And then the other day, they were fishing off the rocks, and girlfriend Laura came up with a nice calico bass on a Lucky Craft lure I don't know how you can beat those kinds of experiences south of the border. And Mike, thank you for sharing that with yours truly. Really, really appreciate that. Ventura Sport Fishing, Island Spirit running daily. We had a tremendous trip with them recently, but they provide those kind of trips every single day. Jump on board the Island Spirit out of Ventura Sport Fishing, 805 676 3474. Let's talk tuna because it's game on. In fact, there were boats last night that when the sun set, they had action until sunrise here this morning, just a couple of hours ago. It was flat, great. Most boats had a piece of it last night. Many boats had epic fishing. It simply doesn't get any better. And it runs the gamut in terms of what was using. I talked to Max over on the Highliner. Max told me 250-gram lures were working really well. Over there on the Royal Polaris, 300-gram lures were working good. Eddie bombs, they said knife jigs, exceptionally hot. Also, Chad Christopher Klein on the XL. He said he was fishing a 300-gram lure, couldn't get bit, went to a 400-gram bit. So it runs the gamut, and you do need to bring a variety of tackle. I'm talking to you guys also who are on our Apollo trip. Make sure you have heavy tackle because you can see that many of these boats are catching straight 100-plus pounders. They had great fishing on the XL. They had some 60-pound fish, and then they had fish up to 157 pounds on board the XL. The Polaris Supreme, last time we checked with them, had 68 bluefin tuna, and 60 of those fish were 100 to 160 pounds. That is so great. We are so blessed here in Southern California. You can't get much better. The Highliner last night, what a bite on the Highliner. 36 bluefin tuna, wide open for them all night long, and they end up with 35 of those fish being between 100 and 180 pounds. It can't get much better than that. The Royal Polaris, all their fish last night over 100 pounds, up to 180 pounds. Over on the new Loan, they had great fishing last night, including a father and daughter team. That was Bobby and Paige. Look at those fish. Wow. It is incredible right now. Best bluefin tuna fishing of the year going down right now. In the daytime, you might catch some fish on the fly line. 40-pound fluorocarbon is what you want to fish with. That's how you get a bite in the daytime. You would preferably rather hook those fish on heavier string, but they won't bite it for most cases. So 40-pound fluorocarbon, that GT4, new fluorocarbon from, of course, Promar is fantastic. You can get 10% off of that when you put in FA at checkout at promarahi.com. Make sure you do that. When you go to a sinker rig, 80-pound fluorocarbon is what you want to be using. It is a tremendous way to go. And I will tell you that your hooks make a huge difference. And Trocar, they are powerful, strong hooks. A lot of you are big fans of Sam De La Torre over there at Island Fishing Tackle. He caught his biggest yellowfin tuna of his life on a Trocar hook. They are strong, they are sharp, they are a magnificent product. Highly recommend you take a look at Trocar before your next trip. Now at night, when you are fishing that bluefin tuna, I'm telling you, nothing less than 100-pound Spectra. Preferably, you want to go with 130-pound Spectra. 200-pound bite leaders are essential to your success. Staying up and being persistent. The lesson that Chad Christopher Klein gave us all. He was dying. I mean, he was tired. He wanted to take a nap. He just lost a giant fish, and he stayed at it and worked hard and got his personal best. So get some sleep in the daytime, okay? That's when you want to rest up, and then get on it at night. Make it happen. Get on it at night. Know the exact depth that your lure is at. Captain says they're at 300 feet. You want your jig at 300 feet. You do that and accomplish that by having that colored line that changes color every 100 feet, or if you want to take a Sharpie and mark it every 100. But it is essential to know where your jig is at, and having the right tackle is half the battle. And then just doing everything right, following your fish, listening to the crew. They're there to help you. They will make your dream come true on these giant bluefin tuna. Wow, it can't get much better. I wonder if John Garma, who's going to be on our Apollo trip, is thinking to himself, well, I caught my biggest bluefin tuna ever on a Phil Friedman trip. He was on board the Amigo, had one that went over 2 100 pounds. I wonder if John's thinking, maybe it's time for me to do another personal best. John, I'll be rooting for you. I'll be right there next to you filming it when it happens. So really great fishing, no question about it. Several boats in on it, many boats we did not mention. It can't get much better except for the fact that the weather is absolutely gorgeous also. And during the daytime, you can fish that bluefin tuna. You can also go to San Clemente Island, or as the XL is doing at this very moment, making some drops on the 60 for big old rockfish, and there are some nice rockfish. I'm hoping we can do that on the Apollo. I'm going to go up and lobby for that. You know, after we catch our bluefin tuna, make a couple drops. Come on. I'll even get to fish for 30 seconds on that rockfish. So really fantastic fishing. I don't know how it can get any better than it is right now. We'll continue to watch it here in the daytime, and then more updates tonight. Don't forget, we have constant updates. We release shorts at night, and we will be keeping you in touch with the XL tonight, with the Highliner, with several other boys that are in touch with us. And again, really great fishing. I don't know how it can get any better. All right, let's also talk about the full day boats out of San Diego. Like the San Diego, they won bluefin tuna yesterday. Once again, that daytime bluefin tuna bite is not consistent. We're seeing plenty of fish. If the light switch would only go on, it would be insane. In fact, they see so much bluefin tuna at times, I think that if they caught them all, they'd sink the boat. There's that much around. The Liberty's been down there seeing fish, the San Diego, the Mission Bell, and they scratch anywhere from, I want to say, 0 to 7, 10 bluefin tuna a day. It's hit and miss for sure, mostly miss right now with Big Bonita, the most making up most of the catch for those boys. But that light switch is going to flip on one of these days, maybe even today. We'll keep our eyes on it. Needless to say, and even though the bite is really hit and miss, you still need that very same tackle that I just mentioned. Perhaps you could get away without the 100, 130 pound, but if you have it, you better bring it. 40 for sure, 80 for sure on the sinker rig, and you should be in good shape in a jig stick to hammer out some catches on that bonito or maybe some kelp patty yellowtail. So keep that in mind at the Coronado Islands. Picking a few yellows there for the boats that are fishing the islands right now, anywhere from 0 to maybe 10, 12 yellows. Sometimes a little bit better than that, sometimes not so good. Again, no consistency to that yellow bite. Most of that fish in 12 to 20 pound class. Yo-yo iron, surface iron, mostly a bait bite, 25 pound. Fluorocarbon working really, really well. That's the way to get it done. And good hot bait. That works really well. A few calico bass, some good rock fishing, a little bit of barracuda around town. So that's good news on that. We take you to San Clemente Island. Thunderbird with more yellowtail. They keep scratching out some yellows. Their most recent great hit was 19 yellowtail, but some nice, great, big yellows. Not a lot of them, but some pretty good fishing going on. They also have had some halibut. I'm talking about boats in general now at San Clemente Island, as well as the Thunderbird, and also good rock fishing out there in that neck of the woods. They are not too far away from that bluefin tuna either. So I'm sure some of these boys are going to start scheduling that for sure. So that's looking very, very good at Clemente Catalina. A few halibut, occasional white sea bass. There's some yellowtail around, decent bonita fishing, a few calico bass, mostly rockfish going on there. But pretty good variety. The water temperatures continue to come up, and the lack of wind is definitely helping that. We're getting up to 64-degree water in some parts of the island, and that's what the doctor ordered for that springtime bite to kick in and get even better than it is right now. El Patron has plenty of room on Friday for all of you. If you want to go to Catalina Island and fish hard, get on the El Patron this Friday by going to www.longbeachsportfishing.org. Get on the El Patron. We have just announced a special trip that we're doing June the 24th on the El Patron. You can go to that same website and book that trip right now. $155, leaving at 5 a.m., coming back at 7:30 p.m. Extended trip. You're also going to have to make a fuel surcharge payment of $20 cash when you get on board. So keep that in mind, but you can book that trip before it's too late. June the 24th, Friedman Adventures on the El Patron. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm telling you, don't miss that one and get on the El Patron this Friday. So several boats that are fishing the island right now, coming up with that mixed bag. Santa Barbara Island, some guys are still headed out there scratching some sea bass.
occasional good halibut, of course, good rockfish. And up in the Channel Islands, wow, it is still really excellent rock fishing going on. The guys from the High Desert Club, only 7 guys on board the Endeavor, just put the wood to the fish with lots of lings, big old rock fishing, pretty good halibut fishing also out of Ventura Sport Fishing. The local boat, California, has been doing really, really well. Also, Cody Rogers runs that boat, and he does an absolutely fantastic job. And then the Island Spirit, man, Daniel Hadaway just putting the wood to the fish up there. He has had tremendous fishing. We had the trip of a lifetime with him here recently as Friedman Adventures went out and caught copious amounts of giant cod. It was so much fun. Ventura Sport Fishing again, 805-676-3474. There's been some barracuda bites up there in Santa Barbara and also along the coast around Ventura. There's been a little bit of barracuda starting to show up and out at the islands also. So we're keeping our eyes on that. Hopefully that's going to continue to head in the right direction. Seen a little bit of calico bass along the coast. San Diego has had some calico bass. We see it up there in Marina del Rey. There's some sand bass mixed in with that stuff, but predominantly our local bite from the border all the way up to the Channel Islands, just the coastal bite, has been rockfish, whitefish, sheep's head. Water's still a little bit cool right now, so we're seeing a lot of that. With that cool water, by the way, squid being made at Catalina Island, several boats have some amount of live squid on board, and they take it at Clemente or anywhere else, but that's only going to help the sea bass and halibut and yellowtail. All those species love the candy bait, the live squid, mostly rockfish along the coast right now. We'll continue to watch that for you very, very closely. All right, once again, don't forget, I think 1 spot, maybe 2, on the Apollo, leaving Tuesday morning, 10 a.m. departure. Whoa, we're going to be on the grounds at sundown for 2 nights. We'll have a nighttime bite. It's going to be good, limited 20 anglers. So that's going to be really, really good. So that's your local bite. In the surf, that surf looks awful, doesn't it? It's that red tide, chocolate looking water, but guys are catching fish in this. My guys were here again this morning, had a lot of yellowfin croaker. There's been some good spotfin croaker fishing going on. That's a bait bite. You want to fish worms and bait when you're fishing. That, keep that in mind, as that works really, really well. You can get all your bait and tackle taken care of on the corner of Seal Beach Boulevard and Pacific Coast Highway at Big Fish Bait and Tackle. They are fantastic in there. This month, they're giving away a free custom surf fishing rod. It's gorgeous. I'm telling you, you get the biggest halibut, you're in. You need to go by there, pick up your ruler. That's all you need. There's no entrance fee or anything else. Get your ruler at Big Fish Bait and Tackle, and then you can take a look at all the rules and how to submit your catch by shooting a video and uploading it to their Instagram page. But get all that down there at Big Fish Bait and Tackle, and then you can fish anywhere you want. So keep that in mind. That's really good. There's been some halibut, some yellowfin croaker, good perch fishing up there in the Santa Monica Bay, a little bit more corvina, starting to come together. It's really starting to click a little bit now in the surf, so that is really great news. Hey, a little bit further down south, down there in the Bay of Los Angeles, Danny Cadota from the Danny Cadota Show right here on the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel. Danny, way to go, my friend. Not only did he have a good bite on the yellowtail, not only has he been giving the local culinary experiences hell down there, he's been really dining well. Yesterday, he got his baqueta, deep water, big old grouper that inhabit the Bay of LA area, one of the finest eating fish of the sea. But Danny wanted to get one. He got it, and it graces the cover of the Friedman Adventures morning briefing here on June the 5th. Really wonderful stuff. All right, my friends, I don't know what to tell you. Really great bluefin tuna fishing. Doesn't get any better than it is right now. Boats with straight 100-plus pounders. That is some fabulous fishing, and hopefully that's going to continue again this evening, maybe even today. We'll see what the local full-day boats do as they hammer out some good catches. Hopefully that's the hope. We're going to be watching that and so much more for you. I'll keep you up to date with all the very latest. As always, I deeply appreciate you subscribing, ticking the bell, and just being here in general. And I hope to see you really, really soon. Take care, my friends.